What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is Native Nomads, and today we have a giveaway. I'm very excited to bring Bluetti into the giveaway fold and provide you an opportunity to win this Bluetti EB3A 600 watt power station. It is a little workhorse, and there's some reasons why I wanted to do this video right now. A, I'm way behind schedule, but B, there was a huge event that happened this weekend that we'll talk about in a minute that kind of brought me to thinking about why something like this is so important for even the average person. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or you'd like to live off the grid, it's something that I think everyone should take into consideration of having some type of backup power source. Now, in this video, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things, but we are going to give this away. This is going to ship directly to you from Bluetti. All I need to do is gather some information from you once I pick the winner, which will come in 1 week. I have already done a video about this unit that I will place up in the corner that you can watch if you want to get yourself a bit more familiar with this product before you decide to sign up to try to win it for free. I ask that you do not resell it. I know that some people do that, but this is an opportunity for somebody to get something for free, and hopefully they decide to use it. Bluetti is gracious enough to be a sponsor of this video and of the channel, which helps me out. But I've been thinking lately, how can I help others? How can I help others out? Because I think that's important. I think you watch all these people on YouTube, the likes and the views and the subscribers and all of that's great, but how can I provide you value? And this is one way. I reached out to Bluetti. They said, yes, we'd love to be a part of it, and we would love to give something away to the subscribers and the viewers of this channel. So if it's something that you would like to do, I will ask you to do a couple of things momentarily in this video. But first, let's roll the intro, and then we'll get started. All right, so you may be asking yourself, why Bluetti? Why this power station? And before we talk about those things and more, what I want to say is Bluetti is having a humongous sale on their website right now where if you're not into winning things, you can very simply go down in the description, click the link. It is an affiliate link. I do get paid if you purchase something, but you can purchase one of these or one of their other many power stations. We also use all Bluetti components in our Sprinter van. It has been a much less expensive option for us to have all the power we need while we're traveling. But this unit in particular, and why did we choose this one and why Bluetti? Well, Bluetti for us, they've always been around and they've always been willing to help us, but besides that, they provide a fantastic product. I've never had any issues with this unit. I've never had any issues in my van, and my van is entirely ran off of Bluetti components. I have an AC200 Max, and I have the EB3A. We have solar that powers them. We have an optional charging inside if I need to plug my inverter into my big power station in my van, and everything my family does is solely dependent upon the Bluetti product. For me, that's very important because it's not like I'm just trying to get you to buy one or I'm trying to give you one for free because it's junk. I rely on this all the time when we're in our van, and this little guy just got back from being in California with us. My buddy Andrew, he was out there in his Jeep, freaking Cherokee, Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. He had that, and they had a heated blanket that they needed to run because it got cold in Joshua Tree. It was cold over in Big Sur, and he ran that electric blanket off of this unit. Now, it's not like it's going to run forever, but it powered that blanket throughout the night. They were able to charge it the next day, and every night they were able to use this power station to power that electric blanket to keep them warm. So this little guy has been put through the test. He's been with me in West Virginia when we were doing photography, landscape photography on that camping trip that we took. If you haven't seen that video, I will put that video up here in the corner. That's when we busted our skid plates. We got trapped on a trail for a little while. It was a lot of fun, but this little guy was with us. Now, it's a 600 watt portable power station. It is 268 watt hours. If you just saw like a weird blip, it's because I started rolling on this 268 watt hour thing, and then I was like, wait a minute, I gotta make sure I'm explaining this right. So let's back up. 268 watt hours. Why that's important to me is simply because, if I have a cell phone that takes 5 watts to charge, it's charging for 5 watts. I can take that 5 divided by the 268, and that's how long this power station will charge at 5 watts. If you're charging something that's 35 watts, you can take that 35 divided by the 268 watt hours, and that will give you the amount of watts that, or I'm sorry, the amount of hours that it will charge that unit. So obviously this is a small little guy, but like I said previously, right at the very beginning of the video, the reason I wanted to do this video today is because there was just devastating tornadoes in Mississippi. If you guys are new to the channel, then I enjoy storm chasing. I enjoy photography, very severe weather photography, and that is something that I do outside of this. I don't put a ton of it on the channel, but it is something that I enjoy doing. And I was watching a couple of other chasers while they were chasing this tornado. I was watching it on radar, and this tornado devastated several cities in Mississippi. It was on the ground for, they're saying, 85 miles. So to have a tornado on the ground for 85 miles is extremely, extremely serious. Now, a lot of these people's houses were destroyed, and I'm assuming there's no power now. They may not have water. They probably don't have a way to charge their devices. And not that charging your devices is the one thing that you're concerned about at a time like that, but if you have something like this, a small unit like this, it takes up very, very little space. You can take it with you if there is a tornado warning. You could take it with you on a trip where you may run out of power. Whatever it is, I always have one of these in my vehicles, simply because if I were ever to get stranded and something were to happen to me, I would like to be able to charge my devices long enough so I can get somewhere to get help. And those people that were devastated in that tornado may have been in a similar experience or a similar situation. And that's why today I wanted to do this video, because something like this is all part of a preparedness plan. And if you don't have a preparedness plan, I would put one together. I'm not saying you have to stock your food, or your garage with bins and bins full of food, but what I'm saying is to have something in the event that something happens, to have a way to protect yourself, however you protect yourself, to have some type of power source, so to have some type of water on hand and some type of food on hand. If you're in the middle of a tornado, that city had no idea that they were going to be receiving an F3 tornado that blasts through their neighborhood. But if they would have been prepared, maybe more people could have lived. Always have a first aid kit, something on hand that you can take care of your family in the event that there's a catastrophe. That is like morbid, and I'm not trying to be morbid, but that's why I think something like this is important. Now, let's segue out of the potential devastation event. Having something like this in your vehicle on overland trips, on off-road trips, on camping trips, just having a little backup power source has been so beneficial for us, and we have been using Bluetti for years now, and we absolutely love everything that they do. All of the items that they produce that we've got our hands on have worked flawlessly, but not only that, they are aesthetically pleasing, which is kind of nice. I don't need it to be aesthetically pleasing, but if you're gonna make something and it works really well, and it's aesthetically pleasing, you got me. So let's talk through this little guy the best that we can, so I can give you an idea of what this thing has to offer. Now, if you want to win this unit, there are 2 things you need to do. Numero uno, I need a comment in the description, or in the comment section. Just leave a comment. I'm in, hi, hey, heck yeah, let me get one, whatever you want to say. I don't really care. It can be vulgar. I really don't care what you have to say. If you want to be fun about it, have at it. Also, there is a link down below in the description. It says, sign up for our newsletter, with a link to our newsletter. That is the way I'm going to communicate the winner of this power station, is through the newsletter. So you have to sign up. We have to have your email, and that is how you can win this power station. Leave a comment and sign up for the newsletter. If you've already signed up for the newsletter, all I need you to do is leave a comment and say, I've already signed up. And then, listen, I'm going to cross-reference. I'm going to make sure that you're actually signed up for the newsletter. So don't try to game the system. But anyways, it's a very simple unit. It's a very simple system. There are not a whole lot of functions, but that's a good thing because it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Now, this is a 600-watt power station. So it can charge something up to 600 watts. So that means it has a 600 watt inverter, pure sine wave inverter in this unit, okay? So overland fridges, I mean, you could do a lot with 600 watts. So if you could run your full-size fridge, probably not for very long, but you could run probably a full-size refrigerator off of this unit for a very short amount of time. There's a lot of things you can do with 600 watts. Now, very simply, you have your power button. You have a flashlight. I know that may sound silly, but again, if you're in an emergency situation and you need a flashlight, you have a flashlight. And now it won't turn off. Now you got a blinking light. Sorry if that's blinding you. My bad. Down here, turn on your AC outlets. That's when the inverter kicks on. You'll see the little green light. The inverter kicks on. Now you have access to two 120 volt AC 600 watt plugs, outlets. Super easy, super simple. Turn those off. Now, I will say, make sure you keep these off if you're not using this, because that inverter being on and that little green light being on will draw power. It will consume power. You will come back and this thing will be dead. So that's just, try to keep that in the forefront of your mind. It will drain your battery. Over here, this is a circuit protector. In the event that it's blown, you press that button, it'll pop out and it'll reset the breaker inside of here. If too much power gets consumed by any type of unit, any type of appliance or whatever you're charging, it'll trip that breaker, and that's how you turn it back off. Get it to work again. You have your 12 volt DC output. Now, it's just a cigarette lighter. All of your cigarette lighter things. I would run everything off DC unless it absolutely has to be AC, because you're going to have a conversion loss when you use AC outlets. So if you're charging your phone, don't use the AC plugs. Use one of the USB-Cs or the USB ports, because this is DC power, this is AC power. When you turn this on, your inverter comes on. When your inverter comes on, there's a conversion that takes place from DC to AC. Then you start losing more power than necessary. You'll be able to charge your devices longer if you just use the ports that are up here for the USB and USB-C. Try not to make this scientific, but it's important that you know that stuff. And then down here, you have an input for your solar panel. You do not need to use Bluetti solar panel. If you want to use Bluetti solar panel, in the description there's a link and you can purchase solar panels that are paired specifically for these. If you do not want to go that route, you can buy other solar panels that will also work with this. I have a RockPals solar panel, 100 watt flexible solar panel. I set that thing out, I plug it right into this unit, and it takes solar power. I don't know exactly how many watts it can take in at a time, but my flexible panel is only 100 watts. Most of those flexible panels are around 100 watts, so that's all you're really probably gonna get out of those. You can link them together in series or run them parallel. That's entirely up to you if you wanna charge this bad boy up super quick, but it's only going to take so many watts in. Your charging port. Plug this in. I just had it plugged in. Plug it into an outlet. That's how you charge it. It's only going to input between 80 and 110 watts at a time. So it's not going to charge at 300 to 400 watts really quick. This is going to take between 2.5 and 3 hours to charge. But you know, it's got to do it safely. You don't have like a fast charger in here. And for the price, what you get with this thing, it's really par for the course. Last thing, all of your readouts are right here. It tells you how many watts are coming in, 0 right now because I unplugged it. You have your output. That will tell you how many watts are going out, and it'll also tell you exactly how long. Right now, this thing is going to last 30 hours if I keep it on. If you plug something in, you will see it'll start pulling watts, and it'll tell you how many hours you have at its current state of charge to power your devices, which is extremely helpful. It just doesn't give you a percent. It lets you know how many hours you have at that charge level and how long it's going to last you, which gives you a better ability to manage how much power you have. Last thing that also super important, up top, you have a wireless charging for your cell phones. Put your cell phone on there, charges your phone right up. And that's it for this little guy. I think this piece of equipment is important for just about everybody. Everybody should have something similar to this in their home. in their vehicles in the event of an emergency or in the event that you're going camping, whatever. It's really about being prepared. And what I'm going to do, if you're into that whole preparedness thing, I'm going to put a few items in the description that is just kind of a preparedness kit. Something, it's not very expensive. Some of the links are Amazon links. Yes, they will be affiliate links, but I think having these few items, a fire extinguisher, a med kit, something simple, something like this, the link will be separate, but it doesn't have to be this guy, but something like that. Some Lifesaver water can, 1 5-gallon Lifesaver water can. You can fill it up with pond water and you can drink that water in the event that something happens. They're not cheap, but again, you just put this somewhere inside your home or inside your vehicle. If anything ever happens, you will be taken care of. And those little items in my emergency preparedness kit that I have in every single one of my vehicles is important in the event that something happens. So do with that what you wish. We are leaving. I'm leaving in, again, I always do these videos in power hour. And power hour is the 24 hours prior to me leaving on a trip. And I can tell you right now, I'm leaving on if I'm gone, I have less than 24 hours. It is 12:34 p.m. right now, and I am leaving at 9 a.m. in the morning because we're headed west, taking the Subaru Outback Wilderness. We're going to go rip some stuff up. We're going to do some rock climbing, do some awesome stuff. No camping this time because we're looking to buy a house in Arizona so I can come join you guys on the West Coast. It's been a long battle, and I am really excited to make that come true. So anyways, I got to go. I'm sorry if I rambled, kind of jacked up. It's a busy day for me, but I hope you have a good day. Subscribe to the channel. Come along for all of our adventures. Leave a comment. Win this bad boy. A simple comment and sign up for the newsletter, and you have a chance to win this Bluetti EB3A. They will ship it directly to your door. I will ask for some information from you once we pick the winner. That is it. Have a good day. See you on the next one.